Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Beast Wars Vintage Cheetor, the deluxe class from way back in 1986, re-released. You can see him there in his cheetah mode. We'll put it off to the side because we're going to look at this box real quick. You can see in the box, well, you got the eye, and you got the Cheetor deluxe chilies with water blaster and all that stuff. And you got a little Kenner logo peeking out right there. And up here, you got the Beast Wars logo and artwork of Cheetor looking a little, well, goofy if I'm going to be honest. You got 8+ up here and Cheetor's name up there and all that stuff. On the bottom you have a bunch of copyrights and all that stuff. On the back here you have, of course, the warnings and the Kenner logo again and all that stuff. And then up here you got the good old line wide stuff. Yeah, stuff like with biogenetic engineering, the Transformers have created a perfect cybernetic fusion between ferocious animals and mechanical technology. The result, heroic Maximals versus evil Predacons. Yeah, I got the instructions here and stuff and everything too. Because, oh yeah, so that's how they used to do things. The Deluxes and Basics had that. And Bio and Tech Specs card. And it's got secret weapons and Maximal Cheetor function. Jungle Patrol. Like a bolt of grease lightning, Cheetor strikes fast and strikes hard. You can constantly stalk the jungle in search of Predacon enemies, daring them to challenge him in his laser-powered quasar cannon. Nice bit of arc in his tech spec and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the packaging. I'm just really excited because, you know, old school. I just kind of miss it. Yeah. Cheetor. No instructions included because, again, on the back of the box. Yes, you can see he is a cheetah-looking thing, sort of. I mean, kind of bulky for a cheetah, if we're going to be honest. Cheetahs are not very big for, you know, compared to other cats, wild cats. And he's definitely got the spots, though, although he's also got a lot of blue here. And he's also got enormous rear paws because of just how they did things. Yeah, you got the spots and everything. You got, you know, a whole bunch of stuff there. You can see he's actually got on his face there. I'm not sure how you can see that, but he's actually got little eyes picked out, little slits for the eyes and everything. He's got a little nose, and he's got his teeth. He's got little teeth picked out and everything. Yeah, it's kind of goofy looking, but it's one of those things where it was the 90s. It was a different time. You were allowed to get away with anatomically incorrect animals like this. As for articulation, though, I guess his arm can do that, which looks bad. You got that if you want, and that you can pop that off. That's one thing. This didn't stay on super well. I mean, it stays on well enough, but it doesn't take much effort to pop it off. And then you got that as well, I guess. And I guess the tail can lift up. But again, you got that, and that just kind of looks weird. So that's Cheetor. Not really much for articulation, but that was kind of the thing back then. The beast modes very rarely did much, except for the bigger ones. So there's that, I guess. Quick comparison. Here he is with again the original Optimus Prime, the actual original. This is the one that came out in '96. Not the reissue, not the new vintage one. And also Rat Trap. This is the reissue Rat Trap. But yeah, you can see noticeable size difference because basic and deluxe, ultra. That was the size classes. All we're missing is a mega, which at the time was what? Polar Claw, Scorponok, Inferno, B-Boom? Yeah, characters like that. And because here he is with the modern Kingdom Cheetor, which does look more like an actual cheetah just because, well, it's lithe for one, so it's, you know, it's correct in that front, although still kind of has the same problem, which is the back end, just the whole thing just falls apart. You can see, yeah, just blue hanging out on back, although, again, we got the wrong shade of blue on the new Cheetor because, of course, they messed up like that, and of course they put the right shade of blue on the Netflix Cheetor. Because they did. Because of course they did. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, this is much more yellow versus a golden yellow here. So there's that whole thing. Anyway, transformation is actually pretty simple. What you got to do is take this piece off. This piece and that piece off. Those are the guns. Then you go ahead and take the legs, straighten those out. Rotate it right here at the waist, 180. Rotate it at the knees like that, 180. Take the feet and get them out, pop them out like that, and like that. Keep standing. I take this piece right here and bring it down. That's his crotch plate. You take the legs here and you swing them back like this, swing them back like that. Take these pieces, untab them, and bring them out and they'll kind of click into place here, and you rotate the arms and bring them down. Same thing. Click into place, bring it down. Then take the cheetah head and you bring it forward like this, and you rotate around on this thing, and you also simultaneously bring it up on this, and it'll just kind of thoop into place right there. And that's kind of how that goes. And right here at this head, right here, you just rotate this around because you got the little mutant mask thing going on. You rotate that around, and that's Cheetor's face. Although you can see it's also very obscured by the chest. Anyway, that's Cheetor. And Cheetor here, it's one of those things where it's like there's definitely some design weirdness with this guy, but he's kind of, again, for me, it's kind of one of those I forgive everything because I never had a Cheetor, but you know, I did have Beast Wars toys, and there's still for me that charm. It's one of those things that's like G1ers will excuse all the flaws of the old toys. I'll probably sit here excusing all the flaws he has because even though I never had him, I wanted him, and I wanted pretty much a lot of the characters on the show, which I didn't get for some reason. But you can see, yeah, not show accurate. He's got this hollow stuff right here. These do not cross right. He's got weird looking feet. Big, huge hollow spot right there. I mean, this is not compressed any further. This is how it goes. This is what it does. That's just how it is. And on top of that, yeah, it does really kind of block his vision a lot. Like a lot. Like you can't see anything in front of him type of thing. You know, but it's still kind of neat looking and everything. And again, I believe that, if I'm understanding, is the deco here is a little different from the deco from the original. They did make some small tweaks here and there on the vintage releases, so there's that. But you can take his guns here, and you take the tail piece and fold this up, and then that reveals the gun. You can peg this in to his hand, the smaller peg at the back. Not the bigger peg. The bigger peg's for plugging into alt mode. Take that, and there's this gun, the gut gun, which you can see kind of the guts kind of printed on there. Well, not printed, but yeah, outlined there. And then yeah, I take this and you can plug this into this hand or whatever, and he's got his guns, which you know is more than Kingdom Cheetor's got. So he's got his guns, which is it's pretty cool. One cool feature, yeah, they said the water feature. This is the gun that has the water things. You can see this is squeezy. You can squeeze this. You can take some water. Take some water here, and yeah, you can actually, you just dip it in. You just dip it in, squeeze it. Sucks up the water, and then you give it a good squeeze or two. It's actually got a bit of distance, I think. It looks so bad. Let's try that again. Good. There we go. Yeah, see? Yeah. It's a little cheap water gun, so it's a little inconsistent about how well it squirts, but it works. Gotta want to make sure to squeeze it all out, because the problem is the old toys, a lot of them got moldy because kids just left water inside them. So you gotta be careful of that. No, I also gotta clean this up. Yeah. Little water feature. Now, his head is articulation, though. His head can swivel like that. It's got a little swivel thing. It can not really look up. It can look down, although it's kind of useless because that's mostly for the mutant mask thing. His arms on ball joints, or shoulders. So, got full articulation all around. You got outward. You got a swivel. You actually got, because of the transformation, you have good articulation on the elbows there. He does have waist articulation, although this flap is not included. So you got, he does have waist articulation, and you got it unhindered pretty much. You just got to move the flap up. Hips can go forward about that far, back pretty far, outward pretty far. He does, because of the ball joint, you got a little wiggle there, but you also got the, knee swivel. You got pretty good range there, 90 degrees on the knee. And, you got no ankle articulation, but you do have this, toe joint can go down. So, yeah, that's that. Again, not bad articulation, comparable to, say, Prime Wars trilogy figure in many ways. Surprisingly so. Well, that's not surprising. If you grew up with these, you knew these were actually pretty posable. It's just things turn into bricks for a while again for Armada and whatnot, which is why some of us kind of don't like Armada, the Unicron trilogy so much. Because, yeah, they're super solid, but they didn't move. Again, we're back to that. Yeah, really solid articulation and everything. Okay, to compare him real quick. There he is with, again, the original Optimus Primal. Big dude. And the basic, again, vintage Rat Trap, who doesn't like to stand. And again, you can see Primal is just plain bigger than him. See, you got that comparison. And here he is with the new Kingdom Cheetor, who still is the most disappointing figure in the entire line, in my opinion. Yeah, you can see it's weird because like the new Cheetor is proportionally more correct and everything, but gets a lot wrong, I guess. This still gets things wrong, also kind of weirdly bulky. It's weird because actually, if anything, I would think this is actually a much more fun toy, the vintage one versus this, which is just kind of frustrating. Particularly, yeah, mine is showing stress marks now on the tabs. They haven't broken yet, but they're probably many more transformations that are going to go. So I'm a little hesitant about ever transforming them again. But it's just weird how this one just shows up, gives me nothing but just the feelings of versus this guy actually was fun to mess with, and he's, even though he kind of in many ways shows his age, he's just fun in a weird, and it's like, yeah, yeah, they really screwed up with Kingdom Cheetor, and wish I wasn't in case. As big as no guns or anything, just the little axe which can't even straighten out or anything. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, this guy gets colors better, but also it's just weird. It's kind of goofy looking and kind of weirdly thick for Cheetor, but I don't know. It also became Tigertron. But also, I think this kind of illustrates the whole toys are getting more hollow point is kind of BS because, yeah, instead of, all of it, hiding all of it in the back, it's right up front and center. But I don't know. Okay, so personally, this thing is actually pretty fun. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, this again might be largely nostalgia, but this is a solid, fun to mess with toy. He's easy to transform. He's got the little water gimmick, which it's only kind of fun for a little bit, but it's still kind of neat there. It looks mostly pretty good. It's got some weirdness, like particularly chest is just kind of sticks out weird, and he's got this hollow bit, and technically does more or less block his vision. By the way, he does also have light piping, which you can barely see because of the chest blocking things up. Yeah, I don't know how you can see that, but yeah, it's they're just glowing. Yeah, those eyes are just glowing on my end, but yeah, it's hard to see because the chest is just such a weird thing. I wish it compressed better, but this would have been a thing back in the day too. He's got actually again very almost modern articulation. Just he's missing a couple things, but he's actually got very good articulation overall. In fact, the only thing would be, I think the only weird thing, honestly, that most people would be weird about, probably the head. The head just needs to be a little different and it'd be solid. But yeah, it's just kind of again, it's one of those things, like if you're like me, grew up with Beast Wars, this probably will hit a particular part of your brain and you'll love it. If you've never been into Beast Wars, you didn't grow up in the 90s, this might just be like, wait, that's it? What's so special about this? Again, he's comparable to a Modern Deluxe in many ways, so I would actually say at $20 he's totally worth it because that is more or less the same price as a Modern Deluxe. So, but he's still really cool, and I really like him. And yeah, any Beast Wars fans should definitely check him out if you haven't already. He's available like Hasbro Pulse and Walmarts and all that stuff. So it's a pretty cool toy. Just also know that he is in some ways a little dated, but still, I think, really cool. I actually think, overall, I think he's more fun than the current modern Cheetor. So, in many ways, although modern Cheetor does have some things over him, mostly just proportions, and he does have ankle tilts, I guess. Although I think the best Cheetor is still the Masterpiece version, although, yeah, that's a little more spendy. So, yeah, that's it for my rambling. I just really like him. I hope you found this informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and check out my Patreon. I'm Coffee, and I shall see you next time with another video review.